From the last three sessions, we have reviewed the business case, solution architecture, and, and the edge solution simulator, and also the what's an IoT platform. And in this session, we finally can bring up the data to the expert systems, the enterprise expert system. In this case, is IBM MAXIMO. So in here, as in this diagram, is showing that we are going to demonstrate multiple use cases, including the work order management, asset failure management, and asset health insights. And there is one additional one, is the inventory management is going to move to the future work. It's not being included. So as you can see, there are two major pillars. In the left side, the pillar is the work order management and asset failure management, and which is going to be walk through this session. And next session we will walk through the asset health insights dashboard. So they're two different. Now let's take a look of the details. This page showing that the detail objects created in the MAXIMO environment. Before we really go to the MAXIMO, we need to have this kind of hierarchy structure and objects created. And the first on the top is the location. Remember, we have three different locations: Chicago, Boston, and Dallas. We need to put the address so that in the future for the dashboard it can show in the map the accurate address of the product. And then we need to create 6 assets, because each location have 2 assets, have the refrigerator and oven. And Chicago, same thing as Boston and Dallas. So we had 6 assets. After that, we need to set the meters, because we need to have the meters to measure temperature and meters to measure the carbon dioxide concentration, and meters for the oven pressure. And then we need to set up the condition monitoring of the meter. And because we are monitoring that, we need to monitor the threshold for the exceptional situation. For example, for the refrigerator, we need to make sure the temperature of the refrigerator is less than maybe 40 degrees. Otherwise, we need to issue a work order. And then we just set up the cron task and register the cron task that with the organization. And finally, we need to push some testing data through the Node-RED to the MAXIMO and show this case. And in the real case, of course, data is supposed to be on the edge. Okay, now let's take a look of the MAXIMO environment. This is a MAXIMO environment, and we got from the Tech Data's partner IBM. If you do not have a subscription of the MAXIMO, and you would like to do some proof of value, proof of concept, I think you can sign up a free account, try additional account for a few weeks. So I think this is sufficient, good enough for you to do a proof of concept. I have not experienced that, but it looks like it is okay. So go back to our account. I can show you our assets. The assets, remember, we have 6 assets. Just to show the refrigerator first, and also can show the oven, and to see how many. You can say get 6 and 3 refrigerator and 3 oven created. 2 on Chicago and 2 on Boston and Dallas. And if you take a look of the Chicago and the refrigerator one, and we can see, this is all the basic informations. And in the realistically, most of these fields are useful for the proof of concept and proof of value purpose. We just put some essential things. We get the address, location, Chicago location, so that it can show on the map. And also we can have the installation data and estimate the life, like typically 30 years for refrigerator, and it's reasonable. And we need to have our budget to have the purchase price. And all these information are useful when you calculate the score in the asset health dashboard. Okay, and now we can go inside to take a look at what kind of meters associated with this product. The meters including the temperature meter and the carbon dioxide meter, two meters. And if we can take a look of the meter, and they get all the information, last reading, I just run it before the presentation, so that we can get some data in to show you. So if we can take a look of the point, because we need to set up the point, take a look of the inside of the point, you can say, hey, if it's over the 45 degree, then we need to send our action, or call to action, right? So this is key, and they have some historic measurement, and we already have the 41 read. And if you move to the last page, you can see the one I just sent. It happened like about 10 minutes ago. I sent the temperature as a 101 degree. Obviously, it's over the limit. And then consequently, you get to the about 2 minutes, and then you can create other work order. So the work order being created. So if we write down this 5379 work order number, and then we can go to the work order and then take a look of the details, what the work order looks like. So the question is, when you do the simulation, how do you simulate it? Okay, when you do the simulate, of course, the data is come from the dashboard, but I have the easier way to send is using the node RAID, and we can totally control it. And for example, the temperature is, I can set it as a 105, a little bit higher, so that we can make a difference. And after deployment, and I just hit the insert button, and if you go back to the MAXIMO, the data is coming out to the MAXIMO already. No, not yet. It maybe takes a couple of minutes, but I already showed you, the September 4 and 11/17 and September 4, 11/19 get the data and the work order created. So let's take a look at the work order first. To track the work order, and we put the work order ID and take a search, and you can see the basic information. And actually, this page really is the one we can add the artificial intelligence and machine learning in the picture, because the question is, if you want to perform this work order, who are you going to send to, right? Which field engineer will be the based option, and also what is the instruction, what kind of tool you need to bring. All these kind of things we need to based on the data and help MAXIMO to make the decision. Now we successfully demo the use case for the work order management and asset failure management. And finally, before the end of the presentation, I would like to emphasize the difference between what we showed in the second part, which is the age. Whenever temperature is high, I need to shut down the product and then get our alarm light running. So that is the automation, right? That is been existing for many years in the industry. That's focused on the single machine, or maybe the group of the machine or the one location. But with today's internet technology, everything's go to the internet. So from enterprise level, we get the data bring to the cloud, and then go through some kind of expert system like such as IBM MAXIMO, and we can create our work order, service order, or whatever like our management service from the enterprise level. In this case, we can manage our resource with like a more comprehensive information and more wisely. So in the next section, we will walk through the MAHI setup.